And welcome to this episode of the Selling Through Partnering Skills podcast. It's a special episode because it's part of the Selling IT series, where I'm joined by Scott Wilson-Benner, who is IT Director at Aloga, very kindly talking to us about the challenges that salespeople have in how to do this effectively. And he's helped us so far by talking about what the role of the IT Director is, what annoys him and other people in his role, I suspect, around how salespeople operate. But now he's going to talk to us about what delights, what good experiences have, or what things he would like to have, which will be a major hint to you if you're going to sell in this sector. So Scott, welcome back.
Hi, Fred.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, all good. Yeah, I'm hoping to put them in a better light now, because I think maybe the last one was a bit negative, but I don't like to end things on a negative trend. But fingers crossed, this will be a slightly different approach.
I know. No, we've got to get the dark side, the light side, the yin and the yang. Well, no, look, fire away. Tell me what works, what does delight you, what good sales practice have you seen?
Yes, I think some people all talk to me about industry challenges, and in particular in the market that I'm in. So logistics, supply chain, 3PL logistics, pharmaceuticals in particular. I think it's quite refreshing and surprising sometimes when people really know what they're talking about, and that's probably a little bit disappointing. But sometimes it's great when people can jump on the phone and they'll say, "Yeah, we know this is happening in your industry." I had a really good example of that, where we were, so pharmaceutical reps used to be able to keep things in the car boot and give doctors free samples, all that kind of stuff, which can't happen anymore. So there's new regulation around that. And I talked to one of our suppliers, and they understood that already, and they were saying, "Okay, yeah, so we can help you out," and they helped us build a mobile app, which was great to try and solve that problem. So and this does happen quite often, where people really understand the industry and which way it's going and how it's growing, how it's shrinking in certain areas, growing in others. And what really delights me is, before actually picking up the phone, is understanding the market, but also understanding the product they're trying to sell. So again, not from a technical standpoint, but what value is it going to deliver to a business? Do some research about the business that they're contacting. So have a look at the website. Actually ask themselves, does this product fit with this kind of business? Quite often I've had people approach me with sort of really random products. I'm just like, no, that's just really not, just not a fit. And I think I said in the last one, be brave enough.
So just before we jump off that, it sounds like moving on to a different one. So I just want to really underline this, because what you're saying is, understand me and my industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've got IT in my title, but so do hundreds of thousands of other people.
Absolutely.
I'm an IT director in supply chain. I'm a IT director in supply chain that is talking to pharmaceutical and medical. Start talking to me about that. Show that you know about that. My ears are open, because you're demonstrating you get me, and what the rest that's going to come is probably going to be better than you just. Yeah, it's IT in it. It'll talk tech stuff.
Yeah, and I think people. I think if you look at just 3PL logistics and supply chain, so as a crude in the marketplace, box movers, it's a little bit more complicated than that. But we're not charging a lot for our services. 3PL logistics providers, we're not cash rich, and I think sometimes you get people come and pitching a massive product to you, and you sort of look at it going, that's just not going to fit with what we do. So, do your homework, have a look at what the business is like, the size of the business, is it appropriate, is it an appropriate fit? And I think even if you think you've done the right thing, and you've assessed the business, and you feel that actually this product might fit, I think once you've had that initial discussion, like I said, in the last one, if you feel it's not, be brave enough to say, you know what, I can't help you, but let's stay in touch. Don't continue to try and sell when you've realized yourself that, one, I've already got a product that's better than the one you're selling, or I'm not interested in the product for whatever reason. If you do that gracefully, I think, as we said last time, then you will stay on my list of people to talk to and to talk to in the future and look at where new opportunities might come along. I think you can quickly alienate people if you continue just to try and shove a product down someone's throat. But again, going back to the best price sales pitch that we talked about before, if we get past that next stage again, so we've decided that yes, your product's a fit, you've understood what my challenges are, we've agreed that you can help me, then try and get me the best deal first time. Don't keep coming back around with price changes or increases or decreases that are unreasonable, because like I say, that does, you lose that trust element. Come to me with your best price first time and with a solution that will fix my problem, and do it right first time. And there are people out there that can absolutely do that, and that have done that for me in the past. They've really understood all those things, and they've delivered it right first time.
First time as in they've got it technically right, they've got it business or commercially right,
yeah,
and they've priced it right. It's just like that's what it is. And
absolutely.
And I guess that you guys, we didn't talk about it last time, but you would probably push back on the price a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, well,
but they're saying no, that is the price. That is why do you think I priced it in something that is something that isn't the right price? Exactly. They'll defend it. They'll defend it far stronger.
Yeah. And again, I don't mind. Everything's a negotiation. As I said, a small price decrease or increase if you want more is acceptable, but dropping your price by 50% because you were lying through your teeth the first time round is not the done thing for me.
No, because as you were talking about last time, the effect on the trust and basically just breaks that, and it'll be very hard to build that back up again, and I'll just lose not just that opportunity but all the rest. Okay, just thinking about negotiation. If you are pushing back, or if you're saying actually that's not quite right, how good do you think salespeople or the ones that you come across tend to be in negotiation? Or do you think they're a little bit more like, you did mention the guys that haggle when you're sort of buying a pair of sunglasses on the beach or something like that, and it's just messing about with price, and they're only moving around one variable?
Yeah, you can get that, but I think by the time for me that they've got to that stage, I know I've got the right person anyway. I tend not to have that problem by the time I've got to that point. I think if I've got to that point and we're having that kind of conversation, then I've picked the wrong person, and that's my fault, not the salesperson's fault. We need to be skilled enough to be able to weed out the people that are going to behave in that way. And for me, yes, there's always a negotiation, but I think when you get into technical details of a product, it's, do I need all those bells and whistles? Are there certain things that you've oversold that we perhaps don't need, or we've misunderstood each other? Again, so you can play with things around, or is it the commitment to grow by size X in the next X years? Therefore, we'll give you a discount, as an example. Or for me, one of the other things we can sometimes do is perhaps look at where that product might benefit other parts of the group that we're working with, and therefore, give that organisation an opportunity elsewhere, which again might drive a discount.
Yeah. So
at the end of the day, the product's the product for me.
Yeah. So the negotiation, it isn't kind of like trying to get it's getting the best possible deal by saying, look, you've spec this in, we don't need that. Well, okay, if we can take that out, we can move the price down. Fine, good. It's just getting that fine tuning right. That's how you're viewing negotiation. Yeah. It's not, I'm trying to get all this money out of you, and that didn't work, so I'm going to drop it now because I don't really know how to do anything else.
No.
But what you're saying is you'd be kicking yourself. Well, you probably wouldn't even get to that stage now.
No.
You're picking up on things to weed out the contenders.
Yeah, absolutely.
What things do you notice? I mean, you can probably do quite a lot of this a bit more intuitively now, because I know you've been doing this quite a bit or quite a long time. But what things are you like that indicates to you that this looks like the right kind of person to be working with?
Yeah, I think that we what a product value is before you go into before you even start talking to someone about it. So making sure the price is in the right ballpark, making sure they're not overselling or underselling the product, because that can happen quite often, and really just having that confidence in the person selling to you, And that confidence comes from, again, understanding of the challenges that I've got. We could have an hour, 2-hour introductory session where we talk about the challenges, and then the follow-up session, it becomes quite evident then whether they've actually listened. So that probably brings me on to the story a little bit, whereby
just retell a story then.
Yeah.
Sorry to get
That's
interrupting in this session.
I'm used to that, Fred.
Do you need? I know, that's why I'm by doing it. Do you need to like the person that you're buying from? In fact,
not necessarily. No.
Right.
No. But I think I have to trust them.
Right. So okay, as a person, whatever, I won't go out for a pint with you, but I'm buying a system off you.
Yeah.
And you're the person that's understood me, you've understood my business. You work for an organization that's got the capability of doing it, and you have the credibility of someone to do this.
Yeah.
They might not like a cup of tea, and maybe that's why you're so good at it. But the liking part is kind of the most irrelevant bit. This fabled relationship bit is like, well, no, the relationship is with the fact that you can do this stuff.
Yeah, it's a trust for me. So making sure that you trust what they're selling, you trust the price that they're giving you trust the service they're going to provide later, because again, it's no good. And again, you get this quite a lot in big procurement teams where they'll hammer the price down with a supplier, and then you'll just get it in the service further on, or the service, the ongoing service that you get for that product just ends up being poor because you've absolutely stripped everything back that far. And that for me is not what it's about. These systems that you're putting in are quite often very critical. They have to be right, and the support you get after is often as critical, if not more critical, than the original implementation, because these systems are in for a very long time in most cases. So that relationship, that trust has to be there, and you have to have that confidence that they can deliver on what they've promised. Yeah.
Trust and confidence, different to likability. Now, if you do like the person as well, even easier. It'll probably happen faster. Sorry, you're going to tell us a story anyway. Tell us a story, like stories.
Yeah, I was just saying. So I think I've worked with this provider for quite some time. I'm not going to mention any names, but they did a fantastic job the first time around. They really understood what I needed. They got me out of a situation where we got lots of hardware everywhere, and we really consolidated down everything into a really intelligently driven platform, which allowed the business to scale over the next 10-15 years without any difficulty whatsoever. And we've recently upgraded the environment with those guys, and absolutely I've got all that trust and confidence. It was very easy to use them again, but they didn't just go, well, here's your new quote, and we're just going to refresh what you've got, which they could have done. They actually, even though they'd already got the foot, they got the foot through the door, they knew, probably didn't know 100%, but they knew pretty much that we'd already got this existing relationship. It was almost a given. They didn't take that for granted. They said, hold on, let's get people from all this, the various areas within this business that we're buying from. Let's understand your challenges over the next 10 years. Let's understand where the technology's gone and where that might be able to leverage some benefits. So they explain what the benefits of that technology would be, what value it could drive. Then the question, would that benefit you? Would that work for you? Would that deliver more value for you? So we went through this whole process again from the ground up. And they even spent time installing analytical software within our hardware to analyze everything it was doing for 3 months before we even had that conversation. So they understood everything. They understood the bottlenecks, the efficiencies that we could get, where we could spend less, because actually we respected it the first time, or your compute or whatever's all shifted around, and therefore we've moved more into cloud as an example. Therefore, you didn't need as much as you did before. Therefore, this smaller thing will work, and that's it's going to cost them money at the end of the day. They're not going to sell me a bigger solution, but they were interested in that. They were interested in making sure they analysed it to the nth degree from a technical standpoint, made sure they took me through it from a business and a technical perspective, making sure they added the value. That was even before even talking about any costs or timelines. So they made sure the fit was right, they were solving the right problem before they presented back to me. Then they presented 2 options to me as well, to say, Here's your two price points. These are the benefits of each. It's your call which way you want to go. And they gave me the best price first time. And even though a lot of this technology was new, and I'd not dealt with some of it, and I had no clue about it. There was no condescending sales pitch either, which was even better. So so there was definitely no con. There was definitely got the best price, and there was no condescending sales pitch. And they really listened, and they did more than that. They went above and beyond, making sure that the fit was absolutely right for free. There was no pre-spending any money whatsoever. It was, we're going to do all this work, we're going to present it back to you. They want to be assured that solution was absolutely 100% for me before I even got a price. And that for me is just, that's the Rolls Royce of sales for me.
That is sales for me.
It works.
But sadly, it's interesting. For me, that is sales. But you're saying it's Rolls Royce. You're saying that is something which is very exclusive and you don't see that often and quite special.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And which people pay money for. Because Rolls Royces aren't cheap.
Quite true.
Yeah. No, that is such a great case study. Really, really cool. How many people were involved in that project?
Not many. So okay. from their side, there was probably 5, 6. So again, it wasn't resource hungry on either side, but for me, they took the time to understand, which is really important.
Took the time to understand. There's so many little snippets here, little sound bites we could use. Yeah, so they didn't do all the frustrating things, and it's almost like by not doing them, you can't help but do the opposite, which is the best practice. So just don't do the stupid stuff. It is going to frustrate, annoy, and then disqualify you forever. Do the other good stuff, which does take time, does take effort, takes a bit of investment, takes knowledge on the part of the salesperson, but it makes a difference.
Absolutely.
When you tell that story, I'm thinking, wow, these guys are great. I want to go and talk to them.
Yeah, they're really good. And I think that the other thing as well, then, that for me gives an absolute confidence and trust in the solution they've provided, but also, these guys provide ongoing support and maintenance as well. So who am I going to go to for my support and maintenance? I'm going to go to them. They built it, they understand it, I trust them, and I've got confidence in what they're doing. Why wouldn't I go to them?
Yeah.
Could I find someone cheaper? Maybe. But could I find someone better? Probably not.
They've done a cracking job. I might have to get their sales director on as a guest on.
I could pass you the details.
Managing sales to IT. No, seriously. It'd be an interesting thing of how he or she runs that team and sets up those behaviors. No, I'm going to do that. Cool. Anything else then? Any other bits of advice you can give to salespeople to be good? We did the frustrated, yeah.
I think for me, it's just, like I say, just try and instill that trust. That's really important, and listening to people and being honest. If you can't help people, then just say you can't. Don't continue to trying to shove things down people's throats, because it just doesn't work. People are really, really busy.
Brilliant. Listen, be honest. Don't still shove down people's throats.
Yeah.
There's exactly your recipe for being good at, I would suspect,
and avoid the other
I know, any type of sales, IT or whatever. Those are decent guidelines, which is summarised really nicely in there. Yeah, it gives a decent little story there. Feel good. It's a feel good story. I feel good here.
It's a feel good story, yeah.
There is good stuff going on out there. And I know there is, because that's what we model all the training and all the stuff we do. So
yeah, they're not all bad.
They're not all bad. He says through gritting teeth. Yeah, no, but the good are good, and they absolutely get your attention and will work with you and continue to work with you. So brilliant. Again, thanks so much. It's really good of you to give some of your time sharing this, helping me to help people get better with that.
No problem, Fred.
And I'll look forward to talking to you about some more things in the future.
No problem. Cheers, Fred.